Swish. Written by Machine Queen. Read by Arashi. The first summer after the war, Hubert realizes he may have a problem. At the end of Her Majesty's cabinet meeting, he looks down at his notebook and sees not a single useful note. There is only a diagram, lines looping and flowing into curling braids. Not art, exactly, more a scientific study. It is good for diplomacy, says Ferdinand, to wear his hair in brigid braids while Petra visits. Good for diplomacy and very bad for Hubert's focus. Still, it will only be a week. A week is no time at all. Hubert crumples the page, just as Ferdinand turns to him. Hubert, wherever have you been? That information is classified. I can assure you it was nowhere interesting if you are hankering after a souvenir. He'd been playing a lethal game of catch me if you can, up and down the coast. Hunt, kill, repeat. Don't let anything slither away. Ferdinand laughs. Do you really think me so utterly shameless? It is possible I picked up an interesting-looking tea. Lavender, I think. From a lavender farm? That means, the east? I cannot say. You are such a tease, Hubert. Can I at least try the tea? Hubert tries not to look too thrilled, but the smile slipped out all the same. Monsters get lonely too. The relief at the disappearance of the braids is only momentary. Hot, humid weather has Ferdinand cram his hair into a messy knot. Downy neck hairs prickle to attention when Hubert approaches from behind. It would be easy to lean down and kiss the soft skin exposed above stiff, starched collar. Alas, it is not the kind of thing people do to each other without prior agreement. Trying to sneak up on me. It is important to ensure you remain alert. Assassins could strike at any time. I do not think this is the time of year for assassins. They would surely boil in all their black. This is true. Even Hubert has shed most of his layers. Ferdinand is looking at his rolled-up sleeves like he'd never seen arms before. It is too hot for gloves. What happened? Ferdinand means the scars twisting from his palms up his wrists. They are fresh bruises, purple from last night's activities. Nothing I couldn't take care of. Does it hurt? No. Another entry to go on the list, lies I have told Ferdinand von Ayer. When the summer storm comes, Ferdinand's hair curls wildly in the wet. He got caught out while riding. Hubert remembers post-battle rain washing blood from skin and armor. Ferdinand's hair frizzled as they shivered together and argued over where the stars would be if they could see them. One terrifying time they didn't argue, and Ferdinand clung to Hubert's hand and told him he'd still be able to watch over Lady Edelgard as a star in the sky. Utter nonsense, obviously, but Ferdinand attempting to comfort him still meant something. They'd been so close then. It's different now. They've got separate duties and goals. The sensible thing would be to drift away and leave Ferdinand to his adoring public. The corpse of a dead Agarthian crumbles into dust as Ferdinand passes by, unaware there was a crossbow aimed at his pretty neck. Ferdinand sighs and rakes at his damp hair. He thinks no one is looking. Hubert is always looking. It is like he cannot help himself. The Emperor's birthday brings with it a celebration. Ferdinand, of course, is in his element. His hair is tied in a half-tail to keep it from his face, curls falling in neatly groomed loops. Ferdinand keeps swishing it about with devastating tosses of his head. "Dance with me," says Ferdinand, and Hubert can't say no. He is not supposed to be seen, but with Ferdinand it's different. There are so many eyes on the Prime Minister. Hubert may as well remain invisible. "Your hair is," Hubert says. The word beautiful is on the tip of his tongue. He swerves it. "You remind me of a peacock showing off its tail feathers." He expects Ferdinand to be offended. Instead, he looks mildly amused. I will admit to enjoying the compliments, perhaps more than appropriate, though really I should cut it. I do not look much of a politician, and it takes so much time. Lady Edelgard did not choose you for your looks. Well, thank you very much. Ferdinand gives him a hard nudge with his elbow. What did she choose me for, then? You said it is unsettling when I give you compliments, so I shall refrain from answering. Perhaps what I should have said is that a compliment from you is more precious than any other. After all, you do not give them out very often. Ferdinand shoots a smile that goes straight to Hubert's heart. The stupid thing lurches alarmingly, and Hubert realizes his problem is getting worse. Hubert has sent schedules for everyone in the palace. There are several reasons for this, primarily to do with security. He knocks on the door to Ferdinand's office, hand clenched tight. Ferdinand's hair is tied into a simple ponytail. It reaches the small of his back, for now. Hubert, I thought we were not meeting until later. Did I get the time wrong? The inside of Ferdinand's office is bright and messy. Hubert steps over several piles of paperwork. Ferdinand needs a better filing system. Here, You can have my chair. I was not expecting anyone. Hubert does not take the chair. He hovers, suddenly furious. You are going into town? To the barber? Hubert says without preamble. Yes. Is that a problem? He is confused at Hubert's irritation. Hubert is confused at Hubert's irritation. It is only hair, not a lung or a kidney. But the thought of scissors touching those silken strands before Hubert. I am not convinced vanity is becoming of a prime minister, Ferdinand says. You've spent 5 years fighting a war. You have earned the right to be a little vain. Ferdinand peers at him, eyes far too intelligent. Will you miss my long hair? It is not like you to be so sentimental. I do not want you to do something you regret. Hubert finally succumbs to the temptation and reaches out to pull the ponytail over Ferdinand's shoulder. Ferdinand lets him, a baffled crease between his eyebrows. The soft weight in Hubert's hand and the silky brush against his skin is everything he hoped for. Is that all? No other reason? It feels like Ferdinand has been pushing him to say this for months, and each time Hubert dodges the hedges or talks around it. Not this time. This might be his last chance. You have such beautiful hair. Odd how sometimes a single, simple sentence can make someone feel so raw, so exposed. I always thought you disapproved. It is distracting. You are distracting. Ferdinand laughs, stands on his tiptoes to kiss him. As if it were simple, as if they'd always been lovers instead of at a maddening, unspoken impasse between friendship and romance. Hubert's never been kissed before. Where should he put his hands? Is he supposed to move his lips? What if Ferdinand never kisses him again due to his inadequacy? You are shaking, Ferdinand says. I did not mean to. My coffee, Hubert blurts. I haven't had my morning coffee yet. I see. I do not think I will be heading out after all, so we can take breakfast together. I will make you coffee if you would like. Hubert nods and tucks a lock of hair behind Ferdinand's ear. I missed you. And I you. How long since you saw the sun? We can eat on the terrace. Too long, thinks Hubert. Far, far too long.